Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever the case may be. Gary Patterson is sitting here beside me. So,
Indeed.
It must be time for the sports report
What else could it be?
by Jingos. Well, we've got a lot of busy stuff in sports going on.
I'll say.
Lots of stuff. So, instead, I'm going to start with some non-sports stuff.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you some questions.
You're very unpredictable, Bill.
Right. Gary,
Yes.
have you noticed in your visits to various men's rooms that the hand dryers, the blowers, are much better than they ever have been? They got some in there with some serious horsepower.
They've
in
picked
them.
up velocity for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's a lot better drying job.
Yeah, it's true.
And have you seen the ones that you go like this in?
Put your hands in.
Yeah.
Yes, I have seen those.
Man, those are terrific.
Yeah.
So there you are, folks.
Wow. Hand blowers have come a long way.
That's right. Well, by gosh, by golly.
Yeah.
I thought I would mention that to you.
That's one thing I didn't expect to be talking
And
about off the
catch
top.
your
you know.
opinion of it.
Yeah. Oh, I have noticed
The
it.
other little question I have for you, well, I get about three of them. Have you ever eaten at a Chick-fil-A?
Yes, I have.
How did you find the
I
experience?
found it excellent.
This one in South Attleboro.
Oh, there is?
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
I've been told by two semi-credible sources here at the station
Yeah.
that there is one there,
Yeah.
and that if I'm serious about finding it, it's a mile or two or three past the Emerald Square Mall.
Okay.
On the other side of the street.
Okay.
So, but I didn't want to go looking,
Well,
and
yes.
trying this just without getting somebody, a rational person.
Not only my wife and I tried it and really enjoyed it. And on top of that, it was in an airport on a layover flight,
Oh boy.
and they had a Chick-fil-A. And I said, "Look, I've heard so much about this place. Let's go." And I said, "It's an airport, but outstanding, really good."
Then, by gosh, by golly, I'm putting it on my list of things I've got to do.
I'd go with you. It's so good.
Really?
Of course.
Well, by gosh, by golly, we just may have to do that. So, I've got something a little wordier.
Okay.
In the doctor's office, my doctor's office, there's usually a shortage of decent reading material.
Yeah. Unless there's kind
However, I do pick up Cosmopolitan when it's there.
Do you?
I like to see what the other folks on the other side of the fence are up to,
Okay. Yeah.
See if we can keep ahead,
Yeah.
But actually, there's one or maybe two. It's like Boston Magazine. It's a lot of fluff and a lot of baloney.
Yeah.
But there's occasionally
couple
there's
things
one
that
or two
catch your interest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has a couple of statistics. The major story was females and what they go through in college. They did quite a survey, and they found 13% of female undergrads are sexually assaulted each year.
13%.
30%.
Wow, that's a big number.
That is. But as my wife, who has more common sense in her little finger than I have in my entire head,
Yeah.
pointed out to me, if that's a true number, the number is much higher because 2 out of every 3 rapes go unreported.
Could be.
If that's the case, what the devil is going on these campuses?
Yeah, that would be a really bad number if that
Yeah.
factors into it.
Do you think that this is anywhere near the truth? Or?
I would have no idea, Bill. I haven't been on a college campus in quite some time, but it wouldn't shock me because, I'm sure a lot of it is after alcohol-infused evenings, shall we say.
Drug-infused
And
also,
drug-infused
yeah.
evenings,
Yeah.
yes.
The CDC, in 2017, did quite a survey, And they said the average rape victim will pay what they consider a rape tax of $122,461 over her lifetime in medical and legal bills, in lost work productivity, and other miscellaneous costs, and can go higher in lost tuition and or student loans that snowball. They may drop out of school for a time because they don't want to face their rapist or fear him, and the tuition is non-returnable in that case.
Yeah. Sounds like an issue.
This is an issue
Yeah.
that
That schools no doubt try to cover up, right?
Yeah. 67% endure academic fallout for failing grades that may lead to scholarship loss. Further, college dropouts make 34% less than people with bachelor's degrees.
I believe that.
This is interesting. And it's alarming.
Yeah, at the same time. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Since we're on the cutting edge of technology here and important stuff.
On the Bill Crane?
On the Bill
Sports
Crane Report. Oh,
Yeah.
a lot of people are talking about tuning in here to get what's really happening.
Okay.
I'll tell you. In fact, on the other show, I happened to mention that I took my wife out for a little ride not too long ago to listen to spring peepers.
Yes, I remember you mentioned that.
Oh,
yes.
okay. I mentioned it on this show too.
I think you might have.
All right.
yes.
A lady came up to me today and said, "What a guy you are
Is that right?
to do something like that."
Take your wife out for spring
Yep.
peepers?
I told her, I said, living with me is like magic.
Yeah.
She said, I can see that. So, guess what? My 47th anniversary was the other day. And
Congratulations.
thank you. I bought my wife a nice card and a nice container of rubbing compound so she could get some of the scratches out of her car.
Wow. Very romantic.
Truly magic.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
for all you folks that
didn't-
were
she-
amazed at the muskrat story,
Yeah.
here's another.
Yeah.
Let's tell you, I don't know.
I bought my wife a snow shovel once.
Did you really?
Yeah, she didn't
That
have
was
a,
nice.
It was when we were dating. She
Yeah.
didn't have a snow shovel.
You're all right.
So I bought her a snow shovel. That's
Why
what
not?
A Christmas present.
Practical and decorative both.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. Boy, oh boy.
She didn't share my enthusiasm.
You know, that's narrow on Gail's part.
Yeah.
I really never expected a reaction like that from
Yeah.
her. My word. Well, okay. I have another thing to talk to you about. This Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, sounds like he's going to jail.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice, huh? Except, I'm going to ask you a question. Can he get a fair trial?
It'll be tough in this environment.
the court of
Certainly
public
it'll be
opinion
tough.
is-
has already convicted him.
Yeah.
No question.
I really wonder. Now, this guy, I was going to say, doesn't deserve a fair trial. He just,
Right.
put him away and throw the key away. But in our country, that's one of our...
Yeah. I think a lot of it depends. It sounds like whether they're allowed to bring in these other witnesses. They have a specific charge with a specific woman,
Yep.
and I think one of the things they're fighting over is whether they're going to be allowed to bring in these other people who claim they had similar experiences.
Yeah, not
Whether
that,
that's gonna
not
be
necessarily
admittable or not.
part of the four rapes that this is all about.
Right.
There's plenty of others, and does
Right.
that really pertain Does it show a pattern? Or,
Right.
Yeah.
So
I
I think he'll ultimately plea out.
Yeah, everyone on television that they were talking about this the other day, a couple of other aspects of it, but they feel the end game will be that him and his very high-powered, expensive lawyer
Yeah.
will sit down with the
Yeah.
the state, and
he'll do time. He'll
Yeah.
do 2 to 3 years at a country club prison.
country club, yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Because the alternative is he's potentially looking at 25 years.
Oh, he's
Which means he's
boy,
done.
yes.
Guy's
And-
66 years old.
And not only that, but if he's convicted of this, other women are going to jump in and they're going to say, well, all right, my fellow women
Right.
testified against this beast. Now it's my turn. We'll put him away for an extra 30 years.
So the DA is Cy Vance in New York.
Yes.
And he's been known to be a headline seeker. So he may want to go, if he thinks he's got the case, he may not want to settle. He may
right.
want to.
Yeah. He may
want to go to trial.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of publicity.
Gee, a government official that's a headline seeker?
Yeah.
Whoa!
What a shocker, huh?
This is a shattering revelation you've given me here tonight. So, how about Justify in the Kentucky Derby?
I like 'em.
And
Coming up, yeah.
yeah.
I like him to get the Triple Crown.
Boy, he was a bulldog in the stretch in the Preakness.
Yeah.
Boy, that other
It
horse,
was,
he just wasn't going to get by him.
Sloppy day.
Yeah, sloppy day, but two sloppy tracks.
2 sloppy days.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's shown he's a mutter.
He's
and
a
his
mutter.
mutter was a mutter.
Yep. I used to look at all that stuff back when I used to go to
Yeah.
the track. But
He's clear favorite, though.
yeah, he is, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
I'm calling him the winner too.
Me too.
Yeah. I think he might race a little differently. I think they may try to put him on top early and see if he can run away from the field.
Yeah. See if they have a dry track for a change.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember Secretariat.
Yeah.
Yeah. 25 lengths.
Yeah.
Whoa. And Bob Ryan wrote a column in the Sunday Globe.
Yeah.
Oh, how things have changed. I'd like to just argue with a point or two here
Okay.
of his. Talking about football, there is so much, but one thing our guy might notice is the tremendous number of great catches made by the best assortment of wide receivers the game has ever known. He left a sentence out. He should say, and they should all thank the gloves and the stickum they use.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a referee say, oh, let me look at those gloves? They're not supposed to be using stickum on them.
Right. I was going to say back, when the stickum used to be legal back in the day, probably the 70s, right? And they got so out of control that they ended up banning it.
But these guys with the gloves, I think there's quite a few of them that are putting
Yeah.
stickum on them now.
I think there's a good set of wide receivers but the greatest set ever, I don't know. There's been a lot of great receivers over the years.
There has been. I think
And groups of receivers.
that the receivers that are now in football are more gifted athletically.
Yeah.
Simply because they work out year round now.
Right.
They're bigger, they're stronger, and but better? I don't know.
I don't
There
know.
were some really good receivers
Yeah.
back in those days. Now, this is interesting. They talk now about hockey.
Yes.
And the brilliant observation by Ryan. Back in the 70s, the game was being played primarily by, if you'll pardon the expression, Canadian white guys. Why did he have to throw that in?
I don't know.
I don't know either. But he does say, and I just have to, Oh, Goldie equipment is now enormous. That's a given. Shot blocking, comma, once unheard of, comma, is a popular approach. That is not true.
I don't know. There's always been shot blocking, but
Yeah, it has been.
going back to Keith Magnuson throwing himself in front of people. But watching the game, I kind of feel like they block more shots today than they used to. Forwards block so many shots now.
I think the padding is much better.
Yeah.
And I think they can do it without getting...
But it's the way they play now. It's different than it was in
totally
the 70s.
Different.
And I remember hearing Phil Esposito talk about this, saying, we never worked on our defense, right? I mean, we just kind of came back so we could get the outlet pass and take off up the ice to score. And he said the way they do it now with the systems, and you got to be in every, he said Esposito was saying how different it was. That
but just to,
he didn't worry about defense.
One more point on the shot blocking. Back in the 50s, in the 60s, when I first started watching hockey, there was stats on defensemen blocking shots. Bob Armstrong for the Bruins was a very good shot blocker. So was Freddie Flaman. And the top shot blocker of all was Bob Goldham that played for the Detroit Red Wings. I mean, he led the league all the time in shot blocking.
Defenseman, though.
Yeah, defenseman.
Yeah, right. I think the difference is the forwards are block so many more now.
I think you're right, yeah. But anyway, I just thought that was, he was out on a limb there with a couple of those things. Rick Porcello, as a now segue into sports.
Yeah.
When the Red Sox score 3 or more runs, his record is 46-6.
Yeah. Yeah.
Talk about a front runner.
Yeah, get the guy some runs.
Yeah.
Get the guy some runs.
Yeah. And I thought he pitched really well the last 2 games.
Yeah, he's having a solid, really solid year.
He's very confident out there.
Yeah.
And the old sinker, he's decided that is going to be the gravy pitch.
It's on the every other year thing with him. His whole career, every other year. And this is the good year.
True.
He'll stink next year.
Do you have any thoughts on the Red Sox hugging all the time?
I don't know. It seems to be, Brock Holt seems to be a real instigator there.
Yeah, running all the way over there to hug Jackie Bradley Jr. for making a good play.
That was a good play. That was a good play.
I'm not sure that...
yeah.
Kind of yucky.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens.
Who was the famous great-great-great-grandfather of quarterback Steve Young?
Young. What was his first name? The guy that founded the Mormon Church?
Brigham Young.
Brigham Young.
All right. My gosh, you're as sharp as a tack. What's the only helmet in professional football that does not have side decorations?
The Steelers.
Wrong.
Wrong? The Browns.
The Browns. Yeah.
Yeah,
And the
Steelers
Browns
have it on one side.
and the Browns wear an orange helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Straighten that one out for me sometime when we have a chance, because it's their secondary color. Browns are major.
Yes,
in orange.
brown and orange. Yeah.
All right.
Brown and orange and 2 and 14.
All right. So you got a couple of them here. So let's see what the next one is. Who was the first professional athlete to win championship rings in 2 separate sports?
Gene Conley.
Yes. He did. And for you folks
Gene
at home,
Conley, yes.
Baseball and hockey. Yeah, great. Basketball.
Basketball, right. We were talking about early 60s, right?
Yep.
He won his basketball title with the Celtics.
Yes, he did.
Yes.
Might have even been late 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was playing with them and the Red Sox both.
Played with Bill Russell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? He was a banger out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He could play.
Yeah. Who was the first sports great to have his number retired?
Wow. I'd say the Babe.
Lou Gehrig,
Lou Gehrig.
number 4. And how many baseball gloves can be made from one cow?
31.
5.
5.
You weren't far off.
Yeah.
All right. Now,
It's a small cow.
the American League and Major League record for the most consecutive hits in at-bats. Like,
Yeah.
I'll tell you, the record is 12 straight hits.
Didn't Altuve just do it?
I don't think so.
I thought he had.
Maybe he did.
I think he just did it like this week.
Really?
He might have even got to 13.
Holy cow, I didn't see that.
You got to go home and Google Jose Altuve hitting streak.
All right, I got this. I Googled the internet on this one and got this one because I found it someplace else.
I saw it just the other day. I flipped over the weekend, and Houston was playing the Yankees, or maybe it was the
I
other
read
night.
the sports section every day, and I didn't see
And I
that.
thought they said, or maybe it was Sports Center, and I thought they said he had 12 straight hits.
Well, the former record then, and this is in the American League, the top 4 players, 2 guys had 12, 2 guys had 11. 3 of the 4 players have connections to the Red Sox.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
2 of the
no
4,
idea.
2 of the 4 did it in Red Sox uniforms. One, a former Red Soxer, did it in a Detroit Tiger uniform. In the Boston, number 12 straight hits, Pinky Higgins.
Pinky Higgins.
Pinky Higgins in a
Pinky.
Boston uniform.
Wow.
1938.
1938.
Walter Dropo
Walter Dropo.
also had 12 straight hits, but it was later after the Red Sox offloaded him to Detroit.
Huh.
11 straight hits, Tris Speaker for the Cleveland Indians, and Johnny Pesky for the Boston Red
Johnny
Sox.
Pesky,
and he
no
did it in
kidding.
a Boston uniform.
Wow, good for Johnny.
Ted Williams had 9 straight hits once.
Huh.
When I said Red Sox, I thought you would be immediately guessing
I
Teddy.
did immediately think
Yeah.
of Ted Williams, of course, yeah.
4 home runs in a game is a mighty task.
It is.
The National League has done it quite a few more times than the American League. In fact, there are 16 guys. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 13, 15, 17 guys that have this. You know, I'm going to drive myself nuts here. Yeah, there's 17 guys.
Okay.
If you can name 4 out of the 17, you're going to win this prize.
Okay. I'll go with Willie Mays.
Yeah, he did.
He did.
Yeah.
Okay. So I got 1. I don't know why something's telling me to say Harmon Killebrew.
No,
Harmon never
didn't
did it?
No, he never did it.
Huh.
No. In fact, to tell you the truth, there's 3 guys that did it way back when, but most of these have taken place. Many of them have taken place since the 60s.
Okay. Okay. I don't know. Did Hank Aaron do it?
No.
I'm not doing very well. I don't think Griffey ever did it. That
Nope.
I can remember.
Do I have to give you help?
You have to give me help. Yes, I'm desperately in need of help.
Recently with Cincinnati.
Not Joey Votto.
Nope. Scooter Gennett.
Scooter Gennett hit 4 homers in a game.
Last year?
He did?
Yep. In fact, in
Holy mackerel.
2000,
I never would have guessed Scooter Gennett.
2017, 2 guys did it. It's the only year that 2 guys did it.
Oh.
The other player is a well-known slugger,
Really?
J.D. Martinez.
I was going to guess him. I actually thought about guessing him.
Yeah. Sean,
For Arizona?
Sean Green, yeah. Sean Green from L.A., way
Never
back
would've
in
guessed
2002. Mark Whitten in St. Louis in
Never would've guessed him.
1993. How about Mike Schmidt?
I would have guessed Schmidt eventually.
Yeah. And now we're getting into the ones that I remember. So that's why I said I'll give you 4. That's the threshold, because there's 4 or 5 of them I knew. But Joe Adcock, former Boston Brave, and he did it with Milwaukee. Gil Hodges.
Gil Hodges.
Of the
hit 4 in a
Dodgers,
game, huh?
yeah. Then you go back to 36 and Chuck Klein, who was a damn good ball
I
player.
know the name. Yeah.
And then you go back to the dawn of civilization, Eddie Delahanty and Bobby Lowe. They did it in the 1890s. Over in the American League, Josh Hamilton did it.
4, huh?
Yep,
Wow.
with Texas in 2012. Carlos Delgado did it with Toronto in 2003.
Did he really?
Yeah.
He had some good years.
Mike Cameron did it.
Never would have guessed Mike Cameron.
No.
Never.
He did
Could
that.
have given me
and
a
then I
1,000
think
guesses. I wouldn't have guessed Mike
I think
Cameron.
after that he retired.
Yeah.
He said, I can't ever do anything like that again. Rocky Colavito.
Ah,
I remember him as a
yes.
kid.
I remember him as
And
a kid, too.
Pat Seary for the Chicago White Sox. He did it, and that was his only claim to fame.
Ah,
I mean, he
had a
could
good day.
Yeah, I mean, he could hit the ball a mile, but he'd strike out most of the time. And one more, Lou Gehrig.
Lou Gehrig.
Yep.
Of course.
All right, so there. Well, I think now it's probably time to address some of the stuff going on today. So, we have a variety of subjects. Hanley Ramirez.
I was wondering when we were going to get to him. I was shocked by the move. I figured maybe there was another shoe to fall. There still may be another shoe to fall. They signed Adam Lind
I saw that this morning.
for some depth, I guess, in the
I saw him
organization.
down at Pawtucket.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a good, decent
Well,
career.
he certainly,
you know?
I can tell you one thing, he can hit AAA pitching.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, whether that translates into
Well,
big
he's getting
league
up
stuff,
there.
who
He's in
knows?
his mid-30s,
Yeah,
right? 32,
34,
33,
I think,
34.
Yeah.
So he's a depth move.
Yeah,
you know,
he's always
something-
been a good hitter.
Yeah. Yeah. But I was surprised they let Hanley go. I mean, obviously, I didn't want him to trigger the option. They obviously didn't want to trigger the option either.
No.
And I was surprised when I heard it was initiated by Cora.
There's more to the story.
Right,
And there's chances are we'll never know.
right. I mean, the gist of it, though, is he wanted Moreland to play.
Well, I think that's number one.
Right.
Now,
And
also,
when you look at that right side of the infield defensively with Hanley and Nunez, terrible. I mean, Nunez has no range. Now you got Moreland and Pedroia. That's a good defensive right side of the infield.
certainly should be as
Yeah.
long as Pedroia is healthy. That's
Right.
a fine right side of the infield, no
You know,
question.
he grabbed that ball in between first and second last night
Yeah.
that went off Porcello's glove, made a nice play. Nunez doesn't get within 15 feet of that ball.
He doesn't react well.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering whether is he worried about the knee, or
I don't know, is the knee hurt? I mean,
or
honestly, I'd rather see Brock Holt play second than Nunez.
yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd
And
ever
I'm not
say
crazy
that.
about Brock Holt.
No, I'm not
playing
crazy about
second
Brock
either,
Holt at all.
defensively, but easier to hug people from second base.
Especially when they're sliding in.
Yeah.
You can jump right on them.
Yeah.
I think, too, I think you're right. I think there's another shoe to drop. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's the catching. I wouldn't be surprised if they moved Christian Vasquez.
I wouldn't be shocked either.
No. I have given a lot of thought to what you said. No, I'm sorry. You're never going to guess who I just confused you with.
Oh boy,
Jerry Remy.
Jerry Remy.
They were talking about the different pieces the Red Sox have.
Mm-hmm.
And Remy, this year, more than any year, he appears very comfortable and not the least bit afraid of what he has to say.
That's good.
And he came out with what I thought was a very interesting statement. He said to O'Brien, he contradicted O'Brien, and he said, well, he said, I don't agree with you. He said, I'm not sure that you're correct. He said, I think Sandy Leon is a much better defensive catcher than Vasquez. He blocks the ball much better.
That's Vasquez's
and
problem.
He delivers the ball to second base much faster. Now, granted, he said, Vasquez has got a hell of an arm.
Yeah.
But he's very slow to second base. He said, no. He said, I think Sandy Leon is a better defensive catcher.
Huh.
Well, there was silence on the other end of the mic, and, well, we went and talked about something else. But my wife happened to be in the room knitting or whatever the devil she was doing with fabric. And she said, these two guys on TV, she said, they talk about everything.
Yeah.
So I thought that was very interesting.
Well, it is interesting. You know, it's possible they move a catcher.
Well,
they just don't want to catch Swihart. I don't get that.
Yeah, Cora said he's going to catch Swihart.
Oh, he does?
Yeah. He actually came out and said, our catcher's got to do a better job running the bases.
Yeah.
Well, that was kind of a grab all for everybody. But, I mean, Leon just can't run.
He's slow as a tank. Yeah.
But, I mean, boy, when you got Vasquez running into outs.
Yeah, that's not good.
I think, speaking of that, I think Manny really cooked his goose, too, when he admired a would-be hit and got thrown out at first base.
Hanley, you mean? Yeah.
Hanley, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Bad move.
Yeah, you can't do that.
And then Vasquez trying to go to second to third with the ball hit to the left side of the infield. He was out by 30 feet.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
They're still making too many base running errors. Yep.
The Cardinal sin, though, is when he stood behind the plate and didn't do anything when Nunez was trying to score. And instead of saying down or slide, he just stood there. So Nunez took it as I don't have to slide.
Yeah. Right.
You're out.
Right.
And you notice Nunez really looked at him and said something to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, what are you doing?
Little League.
Yeah. I'll tell you, Vasquez better get his head together.
Yeah.
And he's
been a disappointment this year.
He
You know,
really has,
it
yeah.
looked last year like he might be on an upward trajectory. And
Now, the one thing he can do is hit behind the runner and punch the ball to right field.
yeah.
But
I mean, I don't think either one of them is a particularly potent offensive weapon, but, you know, it's a catcher, right? I mean, if they're hitting down an 8-9 hole.
Yep. Well, Leon has struggled and brought his average up to about 250.
Yeah, he's been hitting a bit lately.
He's been hitting the ball, you know?
Yeah.
JBJ, what are they going to do with him?
I don't think they're going to do anything with him now.
He's starting to hit.
He's starting to come around a little bit. He's bound to. He's still got, you know, defensive presence for sure.
Oh, he sure does.
So, you know, with Hanley gone and not being replaced really at this point, I don't think he's going anywhere.
I think it's going to have to be a decent offer. I don't think they're going to unload him. Let's put it that way.
I don't either.
No.
And I don't think they're going to get a big offer for him.
No, until he starts hitting.
You know, could you get a middle reliever? Yeah, maybe. A decent middle reliever?
I think it would have to be a really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about the job Cora has done this year?
I'm good with it
Yeah.
so far.
You know, I was...
A couple times I've scratched my head, but you do that with every manager, right? It's baseball. You make in-game decisions. You play hunches.
I thought Girardi would have been a much better choice.
Yeah.
So I guess I was nitpicking Cora. But I will say this. I think he's done a damn good job.
They're playing for him.
Yeah. They're playing for him.
Right.
Obviously, they respect him. And he's making the right moves.
Right.
Yeah. And if somebody's not performing, he'll tell them.
You gotta say he showed some backbone, saying,
Yeah.
I want to move on from Hanley.
Yeah. I really think that Hanley cooked his own goose.
Yeah. But the Hanley tale is not over.
No, it's not.
Because I'll tell you, a likely team to go after him is Houston. They have a real hole at first base right now. And I think they have the lowest OPS at first base in the major leagues. And the other team that could sign him is the Yankees. I think I think it's likely that he could go to either one of those teams.
The Cubs, for some reason or another, appear on the radar screen. I don't know
don't see
about
the
that. I don't
Cubs.
see that happening.
You know,
I can't believe it's real.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
Rizzo.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, Jeepers Creepers.
So I think it's going to be Houston, the Yankees, or the Mets. The Mets could use him too. They could use his bat.
Yeah, Mets could use a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were talking about Nick Osaski
Yeah.
and his career being cut short.
Yeah.
And I, at the time, was trying to think of another Boston outfielder who had the same thing happen. Jason Bay. He just disappeared.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
36 home runs in 2009 and
Gone. Yeah.
yeah.
Had the same type of issues. Yeah.
He had issues, yeah.
He took one in the head or something.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and you know what? Jason Bay was a good hitter.
He had some good years.
Boy, he sure
Including
did.
a couple here.
Yeah.
He was good before he got here.
Yes, he was.
Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it was Pittsburgh. Yeah. Then when they had to start paying him, they moved him. Yeah. Like they do everybody.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's how things go there. Eduardo Rodriguez is averaging 5 1/3 innings per start, and he has a 4.68 earned run average.
Yeah. I think he pitched today. Was
He
winning,
did,
right?
and they won today.
Yeah.
6-4. And
I think he only gave up 2 runs, if I heard that correctly, driving here.
yeah,
Gave up a 2-run home.
2-run.
Yeah.
It's 2-run home run. That's
Yeah.
right. They were up 6-2, and Barnes came in, and he looked great. They brought Johnson in, and things started to go downhill.
I'm not a Johnson fan.
No, he.
This team still needs an effective left-handed reliever.
Yeah.
More than anything else. I mean, to me, that would be at the top of the list right
I was down to Pawtucket, and I'll tell you who looked impressive was Robbie Scott.
Did he?
Yeah, he was pounding the ball in. He was tough.
He's good when he throws strikes.
Yeah, well said. But the Red Sox catchers have thrown out only 3 of 20 would-be base steals.
Yeah, I'm surprised by that. I mean, they both have good arms, right?
Yeah.
So are they stealing on the pitchers?
I suspect they have.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, did you...
But it's mostly the same staff we had last year and the same catchers. And they
Did
threw out a lot more last year.
you notice our boy Porcello last night? Plunking...
Yeah.
yeah,
He hit a couple guys. Yeah.
He made it very clear to Martin that, look, you screwed with me,
Yeah.
so here it is, right back at you, buddy.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised we didn't get a retaliation. Somebody didn't
Me
get
too.
plunked in
I think-
retaliation.
I
I was
think-
surprised by that.
I think the
I was waiting for
umpires must have said something.
Yeah. Because I think 3 Blue Jays got hit, right?
They did.
Yeah. So I wouldn't feel real comfortable standing in tonight with 2 outs, nobody on.
Well, they got through it.
Yeah.
And so it's over. The Jays are gone, and we don't see them again for quite a while.
Yeah.
So perhaps. Oh, by the way,
they're a sinking
this
ship.
morning in the paper, Martin said, "Much to do about nothing."
Yeah.
He said, "Hey," he said, "I believe him." He said, he said, "I was screwing with him." He said, "I was trying to upset his rhythm. We all do that."
Yeah.
And what does he do? He gives me a high, hard one.
Yeah.
Hey, that's ball. That's
Professional
baseball.
approach, right?
That's baseball.
As a pro.
And he said that Porcello said to him, "I did not try to hit you," when he was going down at first base. He said, but he says he tried to put one in high and tight on me to
send a message.
say, here you go.
Yeah.
Um,
Follow it up with a slider on the outside corner.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly the way it goes. So we're nearly a third of the way through the season.
We are a third of the way through, actually.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Well, a couple more games, I think.
I don't know. 54 games.
54. Yeah.
I think we're there.
Well, I'll scratch. I'll take the nearly off.
Okay.
I just did. Scratched it. So, the names, Betts,
Yeah.
thrilled. Yep. J.D. Martinez. He hit one today
Yeah.
that ended up in Lowell.
Yeah, he is. He's impressive.
He is.
I wasn't a big proponent of that signing.
Nope.
I actually like the way it worked out. 2 years, and then he can opt out and see what happens. But he's a hitter. He is a hitter.
Is he
And
ever?
he really, from what you hear, he really works at his craft.
Yeah. Yeah, he sure does.
Yeah.
He sure does. So there's just the regular names here. Moreland.
Yeah.
He's better than expected.
Better than expected. Yeah.
Bogarts is,
I think he's been good.
yeah. Benintendi,
He's coming on strong.
coming on strong.
Had a
He's,
great last 10 days. Yeah.
the weather has warmed up.
Yeah, the warm weather's good for
And
him.
you're from Louisiana. He's from Cincinnati.
Cincinnati, yeah.
But he played down at LSU.
Yeah.
Nunez, disappointment.
Yeah, his defense especially. He's
Divas
terrible.
has still got some defensive
Yeah,
problems.
he's popped a few homers,
Yes.
but his average has been low. He's only hitting 233 or something,
Yep.
and his defense is a little shaky.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're working with him on it. Are they out there at
He's-
4 o'clock in the
he's
afternoon
a-
working on that?
He's a big kid.
He is a big kid.
And looking at him, he's a big kid.
Yeah,
He's got to be on first base at some point in time.
eventually.
I
Yeah,
think, yeah. Bradley Jr. so far has been
very
MIA.
disappointed. Yep,
And Swihart, too. Swihart, I think.
hasn't gotten a chance.
Swihart got at least one hit today, and he might have had two.
Yeah, I mean, he had 25 hits in the first quarter of the season.
I mean, come on.
25 at bats. I
Yeah,
mean.
ABs, yeah.
So you gotta,
Pomeranz.
yeah, he's been terrible.
He really has. There's no other word for it.
He might be the answer to the lefty in the bullpen. I don't know if he could really fill that
Well,
role.
I don't know about
Switch
that,
to the pen
but
like Kelly did.
if he doesn't perform well tomorrow night,
Yeah,
then Stephen Wright is going to be in there.
Yeah,
He
I
has
mean-
looked good both times he's been in there.
Pomeranz is tradable. I mean, you could actually get something for Pomeranz. He's a left-handed starter. He struggled, but he had that great finish to last year.
Yep.
I think he's more or less healthy, although I don't know why his fastball is suddenly 90 miles an hour.
I think somebody with like a Don Cooper for a pitching
Yeah.
for a pitching coach that is really well respected that says, "Yeah, get that kid over here. I'll straighten him out."
I mean, he was throwing 94, 95
He
last
was.
year, and now it's like 89, 90.
And I still hate two pitches.
Yeah.
Yeah, fastball or slider, and that's it.
the cutter, yeah.
That's the whole
About
story.
it. Yeah.
So you're right.
So you can get away with two pitches if you're a middle reliever.
That's right. That's right. Look at
It's hard for a starter to get away with just two. You got to have three pitches if you're a starter.
Velasquez, everything with Velasquez is down around the knees.
Yeah.
And splitters, sliders.
Yeah.
He throws a little bit of a changeup too. But
Can you throw strikes?
he can throw strikes. Yeah,
he's
and
good.
that's it. You know, if you can control the ball, Kelly has,
Yeah, he's been phenomenal.
hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked good again last night.
He's really made the transition to the bullpen.
Boy, he has.
Which we've been talking about for over 2 years on the Bill Crane Show.
right.
We called it here first.
Yes, we did.
That's right.
Yep,
So
and
put the guy in the bullpen.
work on his control.
Right.
Kimbrel came in today, and well, it was an adventure, a bit of an adventure, but he got out of it.
Yeah. He's good. He's solid.
Sale.
He's been good.
Yep.
Porcello's been good.
Barnes
Erod's been okay.
looked good today.
Barnes is up and down.
Up and down,
I
up
find it
and
hard.
down.
How do you trust the guy in the big games? I
That's right. Price?
don't know. He's been up and down. He's pitched well the last couple starts.
Boy, he has. They were talking.
He's another guy that for the postseason could potentially go to the pen. He did well out of the pen last year in the postseason.
Boy, I think he would fight that.
I think he would fight it too.
Yeah, because he wants to walk.
Yeah.
He wants to opt out of this, and he wants his
Good.
stats.
He'll
Yeah.
pitch out of the bullpen and opt out.
Hembry he's an adventure.
Can't get lefties.
No.
He needs to be a specialist pitching
Yep.
to right. You know, if you had a lefty specialist to balance with him.
I forget who it was that wrote the article this morning, but they were talking about talking to Price, and they said, you know, you just don't know which David Price you're going to talk to.
Yeah.
He can be agreeable, and he can also go off the reservation and be sarcastic and all of that.
We'll see what happens with him. I mean, is he have an opt out after this year, or is it next year?
I think it's next year he can opt out. Yeah. But he said,
I don't think he's going to find somebody to pay him 31 though. That's why I don't know if he's going to ultimately opt out or not.
I think he wants out of Boston, though.
Okay, if he's willing to leave
Yeah.
$20 million on the table,
Well, that's
which he might be willing to, I don't know.
I don't know either. How much money is too much to have, you know?
Yeah.
But to further, the guy that was writing the article said it's difficult to talk to Price, especially if there's other guys around.
Yeah.
It's like he has to project himself or
Yeah.
something. He said, talking to Porcello in Sale is a piece of cake.
Yeah.
One-on-one, they'll actually speak to you and very respectfully and really talk and no BS.
Yeah.
But when other reporters come around, they change into just plastic guys, and it's just like talking to a robot.
Right.
Yes, I used my fastball effectively last night.
Yeah.
But one-on-one, he said they're great to talk to. Of course, there's a lot of things that don't go in the paper either.
course,
That they
yeah.
say, yeah, it's off the record.
Yeah, they got to earn their trust.
Exactly. Well, I think we've probably handled the Red Sox except for two things. Fabulous, Carlos Fabulous, the coach at third base.
Yeah.
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 There's something about that third base box that
Yeah.
screws him up.
Where did he come from? Is he a Cora guy?
No, he's a career Red Sox guy.
He is.
Yeah. It's come up through the system, managing and A ball and double A and all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think
we've
he
run
ever-
into some outs, but you know, do you blame the coaching? I guess so. I think sometimes they run through signs.
Boy, a couple of them were just pitiful.
Yeah.
But
But how
and-
often do you see a team change a third base coach during the season?
there you go.
Not
That
too often.
there you go is right. I mean, you can't make him the GOAT.
Right.
Yeah. There's other problems out there. All right. The other thing I must ask you about is Dombrowski. Where do we rate him now so far this year?
Okay. I mean, I actually rate him kind of negatively because I don't think we're positioned yet for the postseason. primarily that left-handed reliever. We need a left-handed reliever. And can you limp through the regular season? Maybe. But are you going to need him in the postseason? You're damn right you're going to need him in the postseason.
No,
And
you're right.
yeah.
Absolutely right.
Now, is that one of your starters going to the bullpen? I don't think so. I think you need to get a reliever and then probably still put one of your lefty starters in the bullpen.
I agree.
I don't think Brian Johnson should be on your postseason roster.
No, in fact, I'm feeling kind of icky about being on the big league roster right now. I think he's slated for another tune-up down to Pawtucket and get his sea legs under him again.
For me, because we talked all winter about the need for a left-handed reliever, which they never did.
Never got.
You know, I kind of hold that against Dombrowski.
Andrew Miller is out of service now with knee problems.
Right. Not his arm. That's the good news.
Yeah, but he's. They're sending him to someone else to look at the knee now, so that doesn't sound good.
No. Got a lot of good knee guys in Boston.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. All right. Well, the Red Sox will have to go without our help now because we got to switch gears to the Celtics.
Yeah, season's over.
What did you think about that?
I think, you know, it was a good series. It got to Game 7, and the moment was a little big for everybody but Tatum. You know, if they got Kyrie Irving in that game, they win that game.
You're absolutely right.
They win that game and knock them out
That's
with Kyrie.
Exactly right.
There's no question about it. But Rozier, some of the shots Rozier put up, it wasn't just that he was missing shots. They were ugly. They were off the side of the rim, hitting the back iron.
And Smart was taking shots because nobody else took shots.
Yeah.
And what was he doing out there as the point guard?
Yeah, well, Brad only played 7 people that night.
I know.
Only 7 guys played. No Semi, none of those guys. No Monroe.
Yeah. Well, they must have figured if LeBron can do it, you guys can do it.
Right. And, you know, if you just shoot the ball like you normally shoot the ball, you win that game.
I know it. I know it. All he's got to do is make some of those threes. What was he, 2 for 10?
And then the very next night, Houston came out and did the same thing. Houston shot 7 for 44 on threes the next night.
A bigger point, if you will. Are you surprised that it went 7 games?
Not really.
No, because you can almost guarantee that the
Celtics were going to win the series.
Yeah, the NBA games are going to go to 7 games.
Yeah, you think about it. You know, if it didn't, all of a sudden the NBA's got the weekend off. That's not good.
Yeah, and the TV money stops, the ad money stops.
It's not good for the salary cap next year either.
That's right.
That's what happened this year. They ended up having short series in the playoffs. They didn't have the playoff revenue, and the cap ended up being like $3 or $4 million lower than they thought.
Are you suspicious that?
Well, I mean, I don't think there's anything overtly done, but I think there's a very strong subliminal message to the refs, if you will.
The refs?
I don't think they're actually told to do it.
Yeah.
I just think
you know what's best for the game. Give us your best out there, champ. Go
because
get 'em.
that league, more than any other, the home team is just in the playoffs. It's ridiculous.
Swallow that whistle.
Yeah.
And they did in the 7th game. They swallowed it.
They did.
Yeah. Then, inexplicably, a couple of ticky-tack fouls.
Right.
And you see, but
it wasn't quite Game 4 of the finals against the Lakers.
I have it written right here. Kyrie Irving would have been the difference.
Oh, there's no question.
Yep.
There's absolutely no question. Yeah. Kyrie Irving would not. I mean, Brown, I forget the number, but it was really bad. Like 3 for Brown and Terry Rozier combined were like 3 for 32 or something.
Baines must be re-signed.
I wouldn't say he must be re-signed, but I'd very much like to re-sign him. But, you know, teams are going to come knocking on his door.
Yeah. Horford played well.
He did.
Smart. Kills the offense. Can't be allowed to shoot. Missed. I can't even read that. He miscast, sadly, as a point guard.
I still want him on my team.
A monster on D, though.
I still want him on my team.
You better believe it.
He brings
He's
and
everybody's big brother.
Yeah, and you know what? Other players, other guards, they just hate when Marcus Smart's covering them.
Yeah.
He's a pain. He's in their face. He's slapping at them. He's taking dives.
Chatting to them also.
He's yapping at them. So I want Marcus Smart on my team. I want him to re-sign him.
Yep. Jason Tatum.
Superstar in the making.
Stay healthy, and he will be a Celtic great.
He's a superstar in the making. Absolutely.
Marcus Morris, tough, does some good things, but, man, he threw up some ill-thought-out
he's a role
shots.
player.
Yep.
He's a role player.
I don't think they're going to resign him.
I think he's signed for next year.
Oh, wait a minute. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
He is. Gordon Hayward. They're going to have to reset the offense.
Yeah.
They're going to
It's going to be an interesting training camp. They really have 7 starters now.
Yeah. I think there may be some movement.
So
Be
I think there
interesting.
could be some movement too.
Yeah.
And I hope they keep Smart, because what that means is you're not going to be able to keep Smart and Rozier.
No.
You got to make your pick. All right, I pick Smart.
Because Rozier has some value.
Rozier absolutely
He
has
averaged
value.
16 and a half points a game.
Right.
So I think.
But, looking down the road, so you got to deal with Marcus Smart this year.
Oh,
You could push it to next year,
next year, yeah. But then it gets
Rozier's
scarier.
up next year. So Rozier's value is at its all-time high right now. So, and Danny will do anything.
Danny will do it. Yeah. I think the Celtics are going to be really something to watch next year. Yeah, I really do. And on that note, I think we have to sign off.
I believe we do.
Yeah. Folks, we didn't get to football. We didn't get to hockey. So now you've got to tune in 2 weeks from now and find out what we have on our minds, because it will really amaze
We'll
you.
have the Stanley Cup Finals to talk about.
Oh, yeah, well, I think we
Take
got
us off
10
to it.
seconds left. The Knights, the Golden Knights.
Yeah, I like them to
Yeah,
win the series.
I do. They're like the little engine that could.
They're actually a really good team.
Yes, they are.
It's amazing.
Who's the second highest scorer on the team?
Probably
In the
Riley,
playoffs.
Probably Riley Nash.
Riley Smith.
Riley Smith, rather.
Yeah, he is. He's got 16 points, 2 and 14. Folks, on that note, we've got to go. But 2 weeks from now, come on back and see us.
Come on back.
Good night or good afternoon.